Good morning, and thank you for joining me, Rose Ward, StampersDelight.com. I'm not sure if I'm on YouTube this morning. They changed something on the Switcher Studio, so I have to go back and look at that. Let me know if you're watching from YouTube this morning. Hop on, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. And we're going to get started. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, and come stamp with me. And if you're watching this replay and it's not on YouTube, I will upload it to YouTube. They're always changing things. I hate change sometimes, don't you? Okay, just a reminder, you can get that mug and other stamping apparel at the stampersdelightshop.com. Also, time is running out to sign up for my Fun Fold online class for February using the hot air balloon suite. And also you can add on the Ice Cream Swirl. Okay, so you're going to want to check that out. So we're going to get started. You can see I got a lot of people asking me about this glass mat. So this glass mat is part of your starter kit. That's how you can get the glass mat with this silicone piece and, of course, a nice chamois. Hi, Mary Ellen. So I think you're watching me from Facebook. Let me know if anybody can see me on YouTube, but I will add it. All right, so we're going to get started. A couple of things before we get started here. What I'm showing you today is Forever Love, which is on page 14 and 15. And this is a beautiful set. It does look like a lot of wedding or anniversary, but with the sentiments, you can also use it for birthday. You can also use it for Valentine's Day. Hello, Donna. How are you? So hopefully you saw my post on Facebook with my one sheet wonder. And that was using this paper right here. And I cut out all those images. You said yes. Okay, Mary Ellen, is that yes, I'm on YouTube? Or yes, you're on Facebook? So here's the images. And what I did was I fussy cutted all those out. And I was able to make 15 cards using those cutouts. Good morning, Joyce. Let me just move this out of the way for now. And what I did was I used different embossing folders for the background. Facebook. Okay, so I think I'm only on Facebook this morning, which I will take care of that because I will just upload it to YouTube later. And here's some more of those beautiful cards. And a couple more. So you can get 15 cards out of that one sheet if you cut those out. I know some people don't like to fussy cut, but I actually, whoop, there's one behind it. I actually enjoy it. Like if I'm watching TV or something, it kind of just de-stresses me. So those are my one sheet wonders. Let's take a look at some other cards that I did with that. So here's one with that beautiful designer series paper and some of that gold, distressed gold that we have. And you'll be able to see the still shots on Facebook and also on my blog later today. And of course I did matching envelopes. The next one I did was from the, because this is the suite, you can also get these cards and envelopes. And you can see I always cut my cards in half because it's too pretty to have that as the back. So I cut them and layer them on cardstock. Now this die right here, let me tell you about that. That die goes to the Everyday Details, and it's beginning to be one of my favorites. And it's got circles, and it's also got rectangles. And I found that large circle is perfect to put that die on. Good morning, Janice. So whoop, there's another card, and of course I just stamp the inside, and use that beautiful envelope. Okay, what I'm going to show you today is called an angle fold, and I was a little skeptical about trying this because I don't like measurements, as you know, but I did try it, and I fell in love with it. So we are going to try that right now, and don't worry, I'll have the free PDF on my blog, on my newsletter later today, so you have time to sign up for that. Good morning, Gloria. Good morning, Winnie. And it looks like everybody is on Facebook, so I'm not on YouTube. No worries, I'll upload that. To start this card, you're going to cut the full sheet of paper at 5.5. I'm going to show you an easy way to do this card rather than tick marks, okay? I'm just going to pull this down just a hair. Okay, so 5.5 by 11. Then I'm going to go in on each side, and I'm going to do 3 3/8. Now, you know I hate those measurements. I like, you know, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/8. So what I found was if I bring this into 3.5, and then I pull it back 2 notches, 2 little notches, that seems to be the 3 3/8 mark. And I'm going to score that. I'm going to flip it around. I am going to do the same thing, bring it into 3.5, bring it down 2 notches, which seems to be the 3 3/8. And then I'm going to fold that in, and it is going to overlap. And the reason I know that that's where I want to be is when you measure your card folded, it's at 4 1/4. Okay, I'm going to open that back up. And again, I saw different videos on this where you could use tick marks and rulers, and you know me, don't like that stuff. So what I found was if I take this corner, the top corner, I put it in my track right there, and I swing it all the way over to the end here, that's 1 1/2 inches, and that's what I need to cut. So I'm going to slice off that, and that is 1 1/2 inches. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to move, whoop, that way. Then I need to do 1 inch on the bottom. So swing that right into your paper trimmer, line it up at 1 inch, and have that score line right in the track. And then slice that off. And there's your angle. We're going to do the same thing with this side. So again, I'm going to turn this over. Here we go. I'm going to go in on this end. So you flip it over. Am I making you dizzy? Put that in the track. Bring that over to the end of your paper trimmer. That's 1 1/2 inches. Slice that off. Then for the bottom, just go in this way. Just go in here. Put the bottom at 1 inch. Line your score line up there. And cut that off. There's your angle fold. That's it. Good morning, Linda. Thinking of you, and then you came up. Oh, great. Thank you. Good morning, Deb. That's all there is to that angle cut. Now what I'm going to do is I need to put some of the Designer Series paper on there. So I am going to grab 2 different pieces. And let's see, I have those. I have some cut, so I don't want to cut again. But I might have to if I don't find these. All right, let me grab these 2 pieces. So I'm going to grab these 2 pieces right here. And I want coordinating. So I am going to cut these down. I'm going to make some extras. So I'm going to cut this one at 3 1/4. And then I'm going to swing it around and do 5 1/4. And that's what I need for my Designer Series paper. Now, let me bring that in again. So when I cut these at an angle, Okay, I want this to show. So if I cut these together like that, I'm going to end up with that piece for the other side. Does that make sense? So I'm going to flip it over and put those together, sandwich those together. And I'm going to do the same thing at the top. I'm going to go at 1.5. And then I'm going to do it at, I'm going to do this end at 1 inch. So I'm going to swing that right there. Whoop. I'm going to swing it at 1 inch. Hang on a second. Let me do it this way. I'm going to go to 1 inch. Easier for me to do it that way. So again, the bottom I'm doing at 1 inch. And I'm going to slice that off. Now I have these two pieces. And you're going to flip that one over, and it's going to be for the other angle. So if I had put them together like this, I would have ended up with this piece. And I didn't want that. Make sense? Okay. I'm going to bring this in, and I am going to glue this down. Now, what happens is you have a nice little edge there. So I'm going to glue this. I'm going to use my glue press because I want liquid glue on this so I can move it in case I don't have it where I want it. Plus, I like this glue press because I can get in the edges and it doesn't hurt my hand as much. So I am going to lay that down right there. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And you can see I got my flowers going the right way. Line that up and glue that down, just like that. And that's all there is to it. That's my angle fold. Now I'm going to bring in a piece for the inside. And I'm going to use my peacock. I'm going to do wedding. I never have wedding cards, even though, you know, sometimes I don't go to too many weddings, but when I do, I need a card. So I'm going to do congratulations on your wedding day. I'm going to bring in that beautiful flower. I'm going to stamp that up there. You like the glue press? You got that? Yes, I saw that, Janice. And there I have that. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the inside of my card. And we have that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to bring in some of those dies. And I want the circle die. I want to show you how great this works. So I'm going to take that die and I'm going to grab a piece of our, put that up there, piece of our shimmer paper from the online exclusives, because this is also Pretty Peacock. I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to line this up to see how much I need. That's good right there. I'm going to flip it around. And this is about 3.5 by 3.5. Just going to cut that off. Put that aside for a second. I am going to bring in my adhesive sheets. I just moved them out of the way. Here they are. My adhesive sheets. You can cut it out and then just put glue on it, but this is such a thin, intricate detailed die. I want to use my adhesive sheets, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to cut a square out. Doesn't have to be exact. I'm going to take that. I'm going to peel this off. I'm going to lay that right in here. Overhanging a little bit, but that's okay. And then I'm going to cut this die out. So let me bring in my die cutting machine and move that card out of the way. And I'm going to cut this. I'm going to go up one time and back. Make sure it's cut through those. Bring that in, and you can see that it's still laying on there, but now it's going to have glue on it. I'm going to set that aside for a second. I am going to go into the everyday details. And again, I'm going to grab that large circle. I'm going to bring my die cutting machine in one more time here. Well, probably not one more time, but, and I'm going to cut that out. Now that'll cut through the first time, but I always bring it back because it's easier for me to pull it out of my machine. And then I have my take your pick tools. A couple of the little dots didn't fall out all the way. I'm going to stamp this with Always and Forever. That was a song, Always and Forever. Matter of fact, that almost was my wedding song. I'm going to stamp that right there. Now I'm going to take this piece very gently off. Use my take your pick tool. And I just want to grab one of those ends. Let's pull this all out first. You have to be real gentle with this because it is a real delicate die. And it's also very sticky. And with the lights, it's hard for me to see. I'm going to start picking that up right here, I think. Get that all out. Just go gentle with it. You're not in a rush. There we go. Sometimes you get one that's a little tough. Okay. Again, this is with the adhesive sheets, but you can use liquid glue, and that glue press works great with it. I do have some other samples to show you when I'm done. Here we go. Once you start working it out of there, it comes out. Just going to rip that. And of course this inside piece is going to come out. Very gently start picking that up. Go all the way around. Without breaking off any of those flowers. Now it's sticky. There's one little piece that didn't come out. We're going to take that out. And this one over here. Okay. Now watch how, whoop, very sticky. Watch how easy this sticks, right? And how this lines right up with this. perfect for it. I am loving this circle die here so much. Let's take those pieces off. I can use this for something else, so I'll save that. I'm then going to decide which way I want it to go, which is this way. And I'm going to bring that over right here. I'm going to lay that down flat. And on half of that side, I'm going to glue that. I don't want to put glue on this side. Here, if you have a few of these little leaves that might have a little sticky on them, you can just put your finger on them, kind of wipe them off, and the glue does come off, or maybe a little water. But I want those hanging over. Look at that. Then what I'm going to do is I have some of these little die pieces already cut out, and these pieces we have dies for in here that will cut out from your designer series paper. This one, these little ones. And this little guy right here is that little piece. So I am going to add some of these elements to this. I'm going to add one right here. Now this is a monochromatic card, but you can, of course, do different colors. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to add that to the top. And maybe, since I have this, I think I'll just add this little guy right here. Let's add that with the glue gun, or glue press. And I think I'm going to add something else to that. A little glue there. Get it right inside there. If I have too much glue on it, which I do, I'm just going to wipe off with my finger. Or I can take that little chamois and just blot it so the glue is off. Hi, Teresa. So I have that little piece. Remember this one? Let's bring that back in. Might as well use it up. And let's see what we can fit on there. I can fit this one on there. And I think I can fit this one. So I can get two pieces cut out of here. Bring that die cutting machine in one more time here. And just arrange those on this little piece. So there's no waste. I use that middle piece. But remember, there's glue on both sides. I'm not sure I'm going to use both of them, but I am going to use one of them. Let's pull this guy up. Don't forget to share my videos with your friends and on your page and on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up. Give me comments on both YouTube and Facebook. That's what keeps us going. Throw that over there. All right, so this one I'm going to pull off the backing. Once you get it started, it comes off really good. Get that little piece out. I'm going to tuck this under here. Even though I have it glued down, I can still lift it up a little bit. And I am going to add that right there. I want to put it under just a little bit more if I can so the leaf doesn't overhang. Or you can cut the piece off. There we go. Right? And I have this one little flower here. I think I'm going to add that right there. Let's glue that back down. Here we go. I'll add a little glue from my glue press. And then I'm going to take this one. Oh, thank you, Jill. What's the name of the die? This is the Forever Love on page 14 and 15. I'm going to add that right there. I'm going to bring in an envelope. See if I have any. Off-white, very vanilla. And then I have this piece left over from another card. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on there. It doesn't have to match exactly. They coordinate. So I'm going to do this for my... Thank you. You love these cards. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you all watching and sharing and commenting. Okay. I'll grab one of those flowers for the front. I'm going to bring that back in and add my elements. So you can see I used a lot of the Pretty Peacock. So what I'm going to do to make this stand out more is I'm actually going to use the pink. I'm going to use the larger ones. And that makes it pop out a little bit more, having those pink ones in there. That's all there is to making that. I'm going to save these. Let me put these over here. I'll do a card on the fly. I might use those. That's all there is to doing the angle card. Ah, thanks again, Jill. Let me show you two other cards that I did with the angle. I have to do this over on the side here because I untied this. Okay, bringing in this card, same paper, but what I did with this is I tied that ribbon that goes with the suite around it and glued it under there so that you could open it this way. So same card, just added some ribbon. Thank you, Darcy. Added some ribbon that goes to that suite, and then just tie it. And there I have a little variation for you. This one that I didn't use the foil side. I used the flower side. Again, I cut, excuse me, I cut one of those images out. I gotta take some water, sorry. Cut one of those images out and I added it to the front, and this is with one of our punches. And I did this card. And of course I have the matching envelope. Again, remember, you can put birthday sentiments on here, whatever you want, and you can do this card fun fold with any suite or designer series paper. So let's bring that one in again. This is the half a sheet that I did from the cards and envelopes. So let's play around with, let's do one with that. So I'm going to bring those in. And here is the other half of my card. Now remember, when you cut these in half, you're going to need an extra envelope because you only have these envelopes. I'm going to bring that over here. I am going to cut this down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. I'm going to take a piece of petal pink and make my card base at 4 1/4. I'm going to score this in half. I'm doing a tent fold here. And that's going to layer right on top of there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, so I'm not going to go there yet. Well, one thing I know I'm going to do is I am going to bring in my blending brushes. I have this one right here, so I'll use that one. Even though that's got pink on it, I can switch up the colors. I'm going to take my Petal Pink. So this card, I used my blends to color that in. But I'm going to try something different. I want to try using the blending brushes. So there's different ways to color. This one was with the blends. This one, I'm going to tap that. I'm going to take a little bit off, and then I'm just going to swirl it. Now, it's not going to stick to where the gold foil is. I don't want it real dark, so that's why I'm tapping it off. And then I'm just going to keep swirling it with my blending brushes. To add some color. Now, I don't have another brush here. Well, I do. It's not our Stampin' Up! One, but I'm going to use it because I don't want to... I try to keep the colors on my blending brushes the same. So this one would be only for the pink. This is an old one before we started selling them. So I'm going to go ahead and put some pretty peacock on that. And again, you see that I'm taking some of that color off. Thank you, Gloria. I think I'm going to go back to pink. Put some pink up here. I'm going right over the flowers and the leaves here, adding the color. And now I'm going to go back in with that pretty peacock and add some more around it. And then I can take a look at it and see where I want it. Whoop, wrong one. So much for keeping that in pink, right? Okay, and then I'm gonna make these a little bit darker. Okay. So then I colored that all in with the blending brushes. Not sure what I'm going to do with this piece yet. I'm thinking I might, I'm not going to, I could do this. Oh yeah, I think that looks nice, don't you? You can cut this edge off. Let's do that. Remember, this is a card on the fly. I have no idea what I'm doing yet. I'm just going to cut this piece right off here. I'll use that for something else. And I want to bring that in, but I don't want it covering up everything, so I'm going to drag it back a little bit, just like that. Here is where I would use liquid glue to glue it down. So I'm just going to dot some of that on there. Just a little bit. I'm going to bring that back right about here. Glue that down. While it's drying, I'm going to trim that off. So I do have to trim this edge off. And I'll trim this edge off. And then I'll go right down here. Just trimming that edge. Okay. I am going to, let's see what we have in here. We have this other beautiful piece. But, let me just show you what that looks like. Where's my other card? I'm not sure if I want to use that. I think I will. Okay. I had to think about that for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And I'm not using my adhesive sheet this time. I'm just going to cut it out. But you know how to use the adhesive sheet. Hi, Joan, Diane, thank you for tuning in. Now I am going to go back on this one, gently. Hopefully cut that whole thing out. If you're just tuning in, we're doing the card on the fly, so basically I don't know what I'm doing. We're going to go ahead and pull this piece out. This is what I look forward to on Friday mornings, just figuring out what I'm going to do with a card on the fly and then see how it comes out. I'm going to poke these out. Now, if you had used the adhesive sheets, these would have all came out. But again, since I'm not sure what I'm doing with this yet, I didn't use the adhesive sheets. It's easier if you poke them from the back. You can see it better. You can also use the wire brush, but it's so delicate that I like to do it this way. I also don't get crazy if they don't all fall out. It does add dimension to your card, but most of these are falling right out. Again, if you're watching the replay on YouTube, I apologize that it wasn't live this morning. But I hope you're enjoying it. Okay, let's move them out of the way. So you can see I still have some pieces in there. The larger ones I'll take out. The little ones I'm not worried about. And bring that back in. And I'm going to add that right here. Now, because this is an arch, I think I'm going to do a little fussy cutting. What do you think? Okay. What do you think? Think I should do that? Okay, I'm going to try it. I'm going to add this. I have no idea how this is going to come out, but everybody says they like when I do it this way, the card on the fly. So that's what we're doing. I am going to go ahead and glue that to my Very Vanilla. We'll see. I'm going to take my paper snips. Whoops, not that piece. And I am going to trim around there as close as I can. So the circle one is a lot easier because you can use a circle behind it. I'm just going to cut that off. I'll go back in a second. After all this, I might not even like it. But we'll see. Trying to get in those little nooks and crannies without cutting anything off. Pull that piece out. Little tip when you're doing this is move the paper around. I'm going to cut that piece off so I can get in there better. Fussy cutting isn't for everyone. Okay, so I'm done with that. Let me just make sure that I've got pretty good edge, which I do. I'll put that right there. Before I do that, I'm going to grab some of that ribbon. See if I cut it long enough. Just a hint of ribbon there. So let me put some glue here. That'll hold it in place. And then I'm going to take dimensionals. Little tail right there, if it shows up. I'm going to take dimensionals, and I'm going to add that down here. So let me grab my dimensionals. What do you think so far? I just like getting more cards out of everything that I can. So by cutting those in half, you can get 2 cards. Oh, I got a hand clap. Thank you. Or a hi. I'm not sure what that was. Okay. Well, I should have stamped that first, but I'll stamp it now, which is going to be tricky because I've already put it down, but hopefully it'll work. Let's see. I'm going to clean this off. And I am going to use the Petal Pink. Stamp first. Pray now. Yay! Okay. I'm going to take my card base. I'm going to lay that right on there. Right on the top here. And I'm going to bring in the gems. But now I want to switch to those peacock gems. Okay, I'm getting all crowded here. Well, that one fell right into the place it wanted it. So we're going to leave that one right there. I like to use a lot of gems, as you know. So there's the front of my card. This added to it, I think. You didn't have to put it on there, but I wanted to. Let's grab an inside piece. Wishing you a lifetime of love and happiness. And this could be for an anniversary, too. It doesn't have to be for a wedding. Could also be for a birthday. We are going to use Always and Forever. I'm going to grab this one because it's clean. Well, it was. And add that inside. And of course, taking an envelope. And I have some foil paper left over. I'm not sure I want to use that one though. I can use those for something else. So how about we just stamp this one so I can save those. And do an envelope. Okay, there it is. And here's the other side of it. You know what? I have those little pieces left. And I have one little... Let's add that. Nah, I don't want to... I want that to show. Maybe this little guy. Yeah, I'm going to add that right there. At the top. I want that lattice to show, or lace. There we go. Added a little bit to it. Good morning, Gail. You made it to my live. Yes, you missed the beginning, but just go back and watch the end. So that is my card on the fly. Let me bring in the cards that we did. And remember, you have time to sign up for my newsletter. I will put the link below when I'm done. And later today, I'll be sending that out with the PDF for the angle card. So here's my card on the fly. Here's the other half of it. Of course, this is the envelope for that one. We have this angle card. We have the one that you can tie with the ribbon. And the matching envelope. And then here's the one we did without the tie. And then don't forget about all of these that you can make from a one-sheet wonder if you cut all those images out from the Moody Mauve flowers. I made 15 cards. I did double up those right there because they were actually the side pieces to that designer series paper, but I could still use them. Oh, one more over here. And of course we have this one. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, I apologize that I wasn't live on YouTube. I have to check my settings. Thank you, Gail. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment. Don't forget to share, comment, give me a thumbs up, and leave me a comment if you have a question. So until next time, keep on stamping, Stampers. Bye.